Hey, yo, welcome to La Ventanita C.F, an Inter Miami focused podcast driven by two Vice City 1896 members, me, Wario 64, and Akeem Kalypso. What's going on, Akeem?
What is going on? It's a sad day in South Florida, but as the saying goes, we move. Just
Yep.
a quick programming note: we do have a bit of a special guest here with us. I'm dog sitting, so if you hear any weird noises, if you hear like a jangling chain or whimpering noises or yawning, that's the dog OJ that I'm chilling with for 2 weeks. So just a heads up.
Can we see the dog later in the episode, like at the end? Is that okay?
Yeah, I can wake
Can he
him
get
up.
some camera
He,
time?
he he's actually sleeping right now, but I'll wake him up.
Yeah, let's let him sleep so he's like chill throughout
Yeah,
the episode. But yeah, we'll wake him up at
exactly.
the end. So at the end, a puppy is promised.
Exactly. So stay tuned for the end because you get puppies. There you go.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm always down for puppies. So yeah, you can find our social media tags right below us. You can find ours, you can find the pages, and if you want to follow us for more supported content, go ahead and follow that. You can follow our personal pages where we post a lot as well. And we're really grateful for our listeners. And we're really ecstatic to grow this platform, although it's still a small platform. And I don't know if you saw this, Akeem.
Mm.
Uh, Talk Inter Miami. They
I
have
think
a
it
Twitter
was, yeah.
account.
Yeah.
Talk Inter Miami, they're really good Twitter follow, and they were displaying some podcasts that they like to listen to, and I was excited reading through the list. I thought we might have broken in there, but I guess we're not big enough yet.
We're,
We're not in the
we're,
big
we're,
leagues.
we're
What do you
brand
think
new to
about that?
we're brand new to the scene. We haven't taken over yet, so that's
Yeah,
the end goal. World domination is the end goal. Just so you guys know.
it is, and I do think we do a good job of putting out content for every game. We're gonna be putting out a lot of content during the break as well, to keep you guys engaged. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna follow our players while they go on break. We're gonna do some history stuff. So contents are going. We're gonna be providing you guys with it. So I think as much as we produce content, people are gonna dig it, and we'll hit the radar soon. But all jokes aside, I do think we've built a small platform. We've gotten a lot of feedback from friends and family, and we want to thank you guys for all the support you guys give us for sure. And we know we do got a decent amount of listeners, right? We see our views racking up and stuff. That's good. And I want to use this platform to talk about something really important, something that I think goes beyond soccer, football, or anything we normally talk about. And it's the heinous acts that were committed in Texas earlier this week. Um, as an educator myself, going in every day, this is definitely something that is important to me because to feel safe at your school site's important. And I think in today's day and age, nobody feels safe going into a school, knowing everything that's happening, and that's not right. Um, as a kid growing up, I felt safe to go to school because I didn't have the easiest of upbringings, and my surroundings weren't the best, and I didn't grow up horrible either. You know what I mean? But definitely school was a safe haven for me, and those close to me know that school was a place for me that gave me a space to be myself and feel safe, and I know it is for a lot of students, and in today's day and age, and for me, and even back then, those Columbine. I was talking to Pablo about it today. Columbine was, when we were kids, when we were in school. So
Mm-hmm.
um it's something that's been around for a while, and something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. People in charge are turning a blind eye. Um, and there's enough bullshit. There's enough fucking bullshit that's happened. You guys are fucking holding this shit back. Somebody's got to do something. I don't give a fuck what it is. Something's got to fucking happen after this because how much more can we tolerate? How many more lives could be lost? To me, no more.
Yeah, and you mentioned you're educated, and I can definitely sympathize with that. Just a quick background on my family. I have five teachers in my family. Both my parents are just retired. My brother is currently a high school teacher, and I have two aunts who are teachers. So like, and I remember during the Parkland incident, my mom worked for the school board at the time, and she didn't work at a specific school. She would go from school to school to school. So like during Parkland, I'm calling my mom, and she's not answering. So that was scary because she goes to random schools every day for a job, and who knows what school she's in that day. So I can understand like hearing that news and being scared and not wondering what's going on and thinking the worst. And I can only imagine what a lot of these parents and families are going through right now. And I couldn't even imagine like if that happened to my brother or my parents or my aunts. Like it's devastating.
Yeah, to put yourself in the shoes of these families, it's really easy to we live in a society where people don't take shit seriously until it happens to them. Nobody took COVID seriously until they caught COVID or a family member did. And nobody's gonna take school shooting seriously until it happens to them, and it's too late then. But and there's got to be something done.
Hmm.
Something's got to change. Um, this isn't a political show. I don't want it to become a political show, but at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that what happened was wrong, and something's got to change. Something's got to give.
Hmm.
So back to reality here a little bit, or out of reality really, because and that's another thing I'd like to talk about. I think soccer overall in general is an escape for
Hmm.
people like you and I. It's a place where we
100%.
can go away from shitty stuff like this. So I'm really upset about that, and I'm upset about stuff happening in the soccer world as well.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that, but I'd rather be talking about that as definitely, because it's just a sad topic. So, like you said, you mentioned Parkland and you mentioned your mom, and th- those are horrible experiences, man. I can't imagine what you went through there. And I'm sorry that had to happen to you, and it hits really close to home because I know you're a Broward guy. You're right there, and we're Parkland's not too far from us. So when that happened, that was really scary. Um, and yeah, man, it's really shitty, really fucking shitty that we have to live in a world, or even a country, because there's the other topic of that, right?
Yeah.
Or why is it happening in the US? But let's not get too distracted with that. Let's get back into it. Sorry to bring the mood down a little bit, guys, but we're gonna ramp it back up with today's episode. We got a lot of exciting things to do. We're gonna first of all go through the Open Cup results with Akeem. Akeem's gonna talk to us about the games that went down and the results. I saw we weren't the only bad result in a derby, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll actually react to the Orlando match, which I was there, so I'll give you a little bit of fans' perspective from the match, and we'll react to the events that happened in the match, um, and yeah, get into that reaction. Then we have the Prime Blue jerseys, the new Prime Blue jerseys. We see Akeem rocking the one from last year. Akeem
Yep.
showed off a little bit, yeah.
I got the last year's Prime Blue jersey. Like I said, I have two of them, so this is the one that actually fits me.
Yeah. So we'll talk about those. We'll talk about if we're gonna pick up. I saw your rating, I believe on Twitter. So I want to talk about your rating. I
Yeah,
want to give it a
we can
rating
talk about
too.
that. Yeah, and I have a
Yeah.
picture that if anybody's watching, I'll put up a picture so you guys can see what it looks like.
Yeah, we'll put up a picture there, and if not, you can go on Inter Miami's Twitter. Their picture was really cool. The picture they put with
That's
the
the picture I
model
have. That's the picture I
with
got.
World Thomas. That picture with the stingrays is really cool. We'll put it on
Yeah.
social media as well.
Hmm.
We might have retweeted it. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely put it up sometime after this episode. Prime Blue jerseys will be worn against Portland, so we'll talk about Portland a little bit. This is gonna be our second game against them ever. The first one at Drive Pink, so should be a good one. And we're gonna be off for a month, so last preview for a little bit. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Damion Lowe and Robert Taylor being called up. Um, and a little bit of Champions League. Go ahead and preview the Champions League as well. I
Okay.
got that down. So
All
without
right.
further ado, let's go into the Open Cup results. Let's do it.
Let's go around the Open Cup. All right, what do we got here? So, first match of the day, we had Louisville City losing 2-1 to Nashville. You had New York
So
City.
Nashville, yeah,
Yeah,
Nashville's
that
moving
was an
to
interesting game.
so let's start it off with Miami against the Purple Guys. We
Mm-hmm.
went down in penalties. So Orlando is going to advance, and then I believe they're going to host Nashville.
They are,
Hi,
yes. So,
Ashley.
everybody say that, Ashley. So, yes, so the winner of us and Orlando versus Louisville and Nashville, Orlando gets to host the next game.
Yeah,
So,
do you have the bracket up
I
by
don't
any
have the actual
chance?
bracket. No, I just have the scores
Let
here.
me. I'll get the bracket for you. So get into the New York
Yeah. So we
one,
had
and
you had New England falling to New York City FC 1-0. Then you had the New York Red Bulls beating Charlotte FC 3-1. Here's the cup set. We had Union Omaha beating Minnesota United 2-1. That was a wild game. I saw the goals from that. That was a crazy game.
Sporting Kansas. Oh, actually, we could go get into that one. Sporting Kansas City.
Yes, and then Sporting Kansas City beat Houston Dynamo 2-1. Then you had
So, wait. Sorry to interrupt you. So, Sporting
yeah.
Kansas City is going to host against Omaha. So, Omaha's going to have to pull another cup set, but away this time. And we were just talking about Sporting Kansas City taking the cup seriously. Maybe
Mhm.
this year they're actually doing the same. Got to look into that.
Yeah,
And then
hopefully.
I believe Red Bull's hosting New York, which I don't know if it's a home game for who, because I know New York City plays there a bunch as well. What the hell's going on
Yeah,
over there?
with their
Who the fuck
scheduling
knows?
and yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
This actually didn't even realize the score. That's why I had that look on my face. Sacramento Republic beat San Jose. I didn't
Yes, they
even
did.
realize
Yeah,
that.
yes, they did. And they go up against the winner of what match? The last match there?
The last match was El Tráfico, and it was LA
Yeah.
Galaxy beating LAFC 3-1.
Yes, it is.
That's
And
gonna be so. They have to play Sacramento at home.
they LA Galaxy hosts. Yep, LA Galaxy hosts this one.
Oh, okay. Well, I did,
Yeah.
it may, is that because of the bracket, or is that
The
because
bracket, yeah, the draw.
okay? Because I
So
know
the way
some
the draw
teams
is,
weren't able to host.
maybe, but I don't know if that whatever.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, the bracket kind of divides it. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
of
at the top
course.
or not.
You have
But
to
you know
remember
what?
that
Maybe
when during the draw,
no, you're
some teams
no.
didn't
Actually, you're
host.
right. You're right because actually, I don't know if you're right, but I'm looking at the bracket here. Sporting Kansas City and Omaha, like their badge doesn't show up, so maybe they haven't determined home or away for that yet.
It should they already determined it. It should have like a the one I
They don't have
saw.
a time. They don't even have a time for their
th-
game or a date.
They haven't
The
picked
rest
that
of them
yet.
haven't. Yeah, they haven't picked it yet. The dates are all over the place. One's on the 22nd, one's on the 29th, another one's on the 21st of June.
Yeah, the dates are
The,
kind of wonky. They might fix
the
that
date.
later.
That's pretty weird there. But
Okay, yeah.
nonetheless, nonetheless, these are the last what 8 teams? Yeah, last 8 teams. We got Red
Hmm.
Bulls against New York City, hosted by the Red Bulls. That's gonna be on June 22nd, 8 p.m. You got June 29th for now, Orlando hosting Nashville, 7 p.m. You got June 21st, LA Galaxy hosting Sacramento, 10:30 p.m. I believe this is Eastern time, and then there's
Yeah,
no time for the quarterfinals yet. You mentioned the Tráfico. That's what I named the last episode, the Turnpike
yeah. I
Tráfico.
saw. Yeah, I saw that.
Uh,
Yeah.
I kind of got edgy there. I don't know. There's no real
No,
good.
that was fine.
I, I don't know. Nobody said it before, and we had to go up and down the turnpike in the same night. I guess that's a perfect segue. We'll get into the Orlando trip here.
Hmm.
So, for those of you in Vice City, you know that we planned a bus. Some people kind of made a Disney trip out of it, and that's always really fun with the away games at Orlando. Me
Hmm.
and Ashley actually had annual passes. I think I mentioned it last time in Universal, and we would always make a weekend out of it.
Yeah.
And that was always a lot of fun. So a lot of people did that, but I was able to get a day off of work, and I was able to go up and down the same day. We rented some vans, and we were able to do that. So we had a good time on the vans, going up and down. And when we got there, we were surprised because they kind of like, they always traffic us like we're live herd
Yeah.
in and out of the stadium. And they're getting us in there. We actually didn't take Church Street. Actually, so I don't know if you know or like remember or not. There's like a
I
main
remember.
street in
I remember Church Street. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's like the main street where the stadium's on, and then like the downtown
Yeah.
Orlando. So, um, we didn't take us directly on Church Street. They actually took us around, and they took us around the back streets. I guess they didn't want to avoid it, but we made a we had a really fun march. We had a super
Hmm.
fun march. No instruments. We were singing our lungs out, and
I saw that.
the the people in the neighborhood were really embracing it. Like in that part of the town or whatever, they're downtown.
Hmm.
And they were taking out their phones and they're singing with us and going crazy. The Orlando fans were obviously being salty. The ones that were kind of in that area, most of them were on Church Street. That's I guess why they took us around.
Well,
Um,
they can
but
die mad.
they can die, man. They're our biggest fans. They're always gonna be our biggest fans. Always looking for
I had
something to make.
I had
Yeah,
some fans after the game. I had like people like
I
out
saw
of the
you.
blue like adding me, and I find it funny when like Orlando fans jump in my mentions because even I don't want to say I was live tweeting, but I was like tweeting like my thoughts during the game. And I wasn't putting any hashtags. I wasn't mentioning any teams. I was just putting like I think one of them was like calendar needs to distribute the ball better, and that was it. And
That's because
somehow
they're
they,
switching calendar. They're
yeah,
switching calendar.
somehow they're finding my tweets. So I
It's
know. I
because
guess I got fans.
you got fans. You got fans, man.
Hey, I don't mind.
They're all up in our business. Somebody's making. You know what else I gotta post? I don't know if you guys saw on the YouTube. I posted some of the videos, like the Damion Lowe one, and I posted the which one did I do? The post game, the pre-match interview,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'll post some memes here soon. I gotta do the Open Cup draw, but somebody made a meme out of me, and that ended up on that Barras Ultras MLS page.
nice.
Um, for the match of them against Miami FC, they were like making fun of like me with the Miami FC jersey, the one with the Inter Miami one. It was a pretty good
Oh
one.
yeah, I
I
remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I still actually have to make that stitch down jersey. I want to get half of like a Miami FC, half of Inter Miami one.
I think
make
that'll
like
be
a
funny just to troll.
yeah,
That'll
yeah.
be so funny.
It'll be funny. It'll probably just be like a closet piece. I don't think I'll actually even wear it.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, they got us in the stadium. We had our own entrance, which was actually kind of convenient, just getting directly in ourselves without having to mingle with Orlando fans.
Yeah,
And they kind of like funneled us. They had us like gated off.
which is normal.
Right, which is, well, not really, because what happens normally is we're in 108 usually. We're like in a corner. They always put us in that top corner,
Yeah.
but right below us and next to us are other Orlando fans usually, right? So
Hmm.
our section isn't exclusive to us in the sense that like you could be walking to a bathroom and then an Orlando fan will try to like spit on you or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever these weird people are doing up there, and then the spiteful human beings. But in this case of it, since it's such an empty match, because it was on a Wednesday, they gave us an entire section. They gave us like under the roof, which actually was awesome. We sounded really well in there. I saw a video of us today. I don't know if you saw, but we sounded amazing. It
Yeah,
was
you
it was
can
really
kind of
cool.
see him on like on corner kicks. You can see everybody in like the top corner. Not well, I shouldn't say everybody. Like the bottom row of people,
Yeah,
you can kind of see it.
yeah. We weren't like on a corner. We were like on the like behind the goal, but like the
Yeah,
opposite end of like Ilfin Ruckus or whatever.
yeah.
And we had that whole section. So they had a bathroom for us. They had concessions. We had to like wear a wristband or whatever, so people couldn't come in and out of the section. I liked it. I kind of digged it.
Hmm.
It'd be nice to have that normally, but like I
Yeah.
said, normally they can't do it. From a fan's perspective, we showed up, man. We showed up. We had flags. We sang our hearts out. The boys fought on the field. They gave us a lot to cheer for. They gave us a lot to get pissed about as well.
A lot of that.
A lot of that, a lot of strategies to question on Neville's end, and we'll get right into it. Akeem, what did you? Let's get into the stats of the game, I guess, first, and then you can give us your opinion on how
Ooh
they
boy,
played.
let's get into these stats. All right, so for shots, we had 12 shots to Orlando's 28. On target, we had 3 to 6. Possession, Orlando had 65% possession, which is interesting. Much more passing, but the passing accuracy was about the same, a little over 80%. Lots of fouls, especially from us. 4 yellow cards apiece. And Orlando had 12 corners. Most of them were in the first half, in the first few minutes.
Yeah, they were definitely playing in our area. I felt like we were playing you know, in our goal for most of the game, and it wasn't comfortable. I felt like they defended well, especially especially in the beginning, before they got tired.
Hmm.
Uh, but I guess we can get it right into the lineup decisions.
Mm.
We spoke last week about how pissed off we were when we saw the lineup against New York Red Bulls, but then the win kind of softened it a bit. But I think the result from the game on Wednesday kind of brought us back to reality in Phil's inability to rotate a lineup. And yeah, we're not a deep squad, but I think I told you this earlier. I don't give a shit if you put Inter Miami 2 in there. Put
Yeah.
Inter Miami 2 in there, man. Like, take the cup seriously. And I know there's a lot of, oh, we're taking it seriously. We're giving it our strongest squad. When we can get into the lineup as well, we got the midfield right. We got Taylor, Gregore, and Mota, even though we put Gregore in the middle and he put Gregore on the right. We got
Which
the
I don't
three right at
understand. I don't
least.
know why he did
Yeah.
that.
We got Vasilev right, but then we put Campana and I believe Lassiter on the left. He actually went with Emerson and Higuain to start. And then on the back line, we got Yedlin. We thought he was going to come off like, on the 60th minute, 50th minute, whatever. But it was actually Ulloa. And did we predict McVeigh on the left? No,
I think
we
we
might have
might
done
have.
that or Jovan Jones. I'll go back in a little
Yeah.
bit. Either way, we got everything else. Actually, no, we put in. I think McVeigh is a center back or Sailor is a center back.
I know we had
We didn't.
Sailor probably. McVay Sailor. We didn't have Mabika in there.
Or did we? Or we do?
I
Let me
don't
see. I
believe
could
we
actually
did.
pull it up. I could actually pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why you pull it up? So
I got it right.
yeah,
So
like
yeah,
how.
we had Sailor in and we had McVeigh on the left back.
Okay.
So we were just wrong on Mabika, Sailor, and then Yedlin, and then Lassiter and Campana. But either way, yeah, the rotation was necessary, and we didn't see it. And tell me what you think, but I think if we would have been able to rotate and hit him in the mouth in the beginning, and hit him with Campana for maybe even 90 minutes, if he would have been fully rested, and Yedlin, I think we could have won that in regulation. I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard to say. Of course, like we would have definitely wanted regulation. I can't for the life of me understand why you would start Egoing. Well, actually, I can understand. Like, start with the, I guess, quote unquote weaker squad first and go up from there. But in this situation, how, and Phil has said this
Well,
ad nauseum, how he was focusing on Open Cup, right? Oh, I'm focusing on Open Cup. Open Cup is the thing that we're doing, and then you play a fucking squad with Higuain, Vasilev, Jean Mota in the middle, Gregory on the right, Emerson Rodriguez on the left, no Bryce Duke, no Campana, no Lassiter. It doesn't seem like you're actually taking this seriously. And this is what we were saying about how they started the game. They played more. They played a lot better in that game against Red Bull. And I even mentioned, like, I can see where the plan is and where they're going. So, okay, I can get it because we played really well that game and we were being creative and we were doing really well. So I'm like, okay, we got this. We played really well together, and then to completely change the lineup in the very next game, that was what? How many days were between games? So the last game was what, on Saturday?
no, they played on Sunday.
Sunday,
and
even
Tuesday.
worse. So they had
But
2 days.
but Orlando, listen. Orlando played on Sunday as well, and they had to travel at 1 a.m. from Austin, right? So they were coming in tired too. So if we would have rested that day, that's the other thing. Like, I know you say not for sure, but they were rested. They put out a B squad in a way. They
Yeah,
started Pato. They never start Pato. You know what I mean? They didn't
and
play
he got
Cara.
subbed
They
out.
didn't play Pereira. They played them towards the end. They did the same strategy we did, and I feel like instead of reacting and doing the same shit they did, we could have been proactive and put our best foot forward and maybe
Yeah,
taken the win. I believe our possibilities would have been better taking that win than the route we took. Because while I'm watching that game, I think I told Pablo this earlier, and anyone sitting next to me at the game knows I was saying, I just want this to go to penalties. With how ugly of a game we were playing, I just felt grateful if it went to penalties. The moment Jean Mota made that goal in the 120 somethingth minute, whatever it was, uh,
it's listed here as the 94th minute.
94, actually 94th. Yeah, my bad. 94th minute, 124th. Does that even make sense? Yeah,
Eh,
because they
there's
played
extra time, but
120 plus 4. Yeah, it wasn't at the end. At the
yeah, it's
124th minute,
94th. Yeah.
the 124th minute was the opportunity that actually got blocked.
Mm-hmm.
But Mota first. When Mota made it, that was amazing. It didn't last. It didn't last very long. These guys were super tired.
3 minutes.
Torres cut in, scored, got by like 3 guys and scored a wide open goal. Poor Calendar's been blocking all the shots, and then how's he gonna block that one? That one was just
Yeah, and that was a weird one because it from the replay I saw, it was on McVeigh to close that gap, and he didn't. So he didn't
yeah.
close that gap, and Lowe had to overlap on top of him. So now they're both trying to cover him, and he just shoots it through Lowe's legs because they're both trying to get in the way of this ball. And of course, Lowe can't see. I mean, not Lowe. Calendar can't see what's going on because he has two of his players right in front of him.
Yeah, he blew that one. I was sitting next to Walter during the game, and he hated on McVay all day, and it was a well deserved hate. He's not a natural left back though, and
No.
again, this falls on Phil. This falls on Phil, guys. Like,
In this, I blame Phil 100%.
you, I've wanted. This is something I told you I wanted to talk about. I've wanted to like Phil Neville from the beginning. He's a likable guy. He speaks great. He reaches out to the fans. We've had issues, and he's reached out to the fan base and certain leaders and talked to them. And he's the type of guy that's likable. He came out to our Vice Giving event, and it came and sat with us and chatted with us. He's a great guy, and I really stand for him. But when he does things like this, it makes me so irate because we're what was it all for? And I remember asking you this pre-show too. This was all like putting all the eggs in the MLS basket and kind of taking a backseat to the Open Cup. All right, you got to beat Miami FC. The gamble worked. You beat Tormenta. The gamble worked. The gamble didn't work against Orlando. It blew up in your face. It was a good effort. It was a valiant effort. You didn't go home with nothing because he said it toward the end of the press conference. You got away with this with a clear identity, and I like the identity we saw. Right, we saw a team that fights. We saw a team that got to those penalties, like I begged up there, right? But
Mm.
we didn't see a team that could convincingly win like we saw against New York Red Bulls. We could have seen that team if they would have been rested and played against Orlando. We could have seen that team against them, and then I think we would have had a better chance at winning. Versus you're shooting penalty kicks. Let's get into the penalty kicks. Campana gets flashy. He gets it. It was nice. But Bryce Duke, you had a strong opinion about it, so I'll let you get on Bryce Duke real quick.
Well, before I do that,
There's the
somebody
puppy
woke
watch.
up.
Puppy watch.
You got your puppy early, guys.
We had
I
a
would
few
load him up,
Ashley
but
spottings. We had a few
yeah,
Ashley spottings here. We had one right now too.
we got the whole family.
Yeah.
Hey, OJ. So yeah, about Bryce Duke. I've been very, I guess for lack of a better term, supportive of him. I understand he's a very young player. He seems to be he wants to be flashy. He wants to be out there. You know, you can see him doing step overs and tricks, stuff like that. And I've said, okay, it's nice until it's not, right? It's nice that he has the creativity to do those things and to try those things, but it gets to a point where it's like, okay, you still have to produce and perform, even though you're doing all these tricks and stuff like that. And I saw it a lot in this game. And then when the penalty came, and I can't even call it a run up, his walk up, he casually sauntered up to the ball and just coughed on it basically, and gave it to the goalie. And after that, then you had Yellen's kick, who did the complete opposite. He fucking yeeted that shit into the fence. So it's like, well, shit. Like, and even Yellow was like, yeah, it happens. I'm like, bro, it's a penalty kick. It's 6 feet away. Just fucking side foot it and put it in. Like, easy.
Another one Walter was calling. We were getting into the penalties, right? Here's another issue with Phil's lineup. You kind of want Higuain taking penalties. You kind of want Mota fresher for those penalties. I don't know. I think you would want Gregore, maybe. Gregore not so much,
Yeah.
but Robert Taylor you would have wanted in there.
But even
you wanted
Gregore,
some more technical players. Yeah,
but Gregore wasn't in the 5 though. Oh no, he had to get subbed out, so it wouldn't matter.
He got subbed out. So the thing Walter was saying, another one that he called was, we don't have penalty kickers on right now. So if we go to penalties, yeah, we want penalties. Like, you're going to have Yedlin. And I remember Walter asked me, he goes, is Yedlin a good penalty kicker? And I was like, he's not. He's not a great penalty kicker. Like, he's a fucking right back, dude.
I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, we had, now that I look at this lineup, we had no penalty takers. You're absolutely right about it. I didn't even think about that.
Mota was the only one, and me and him were talking about it, but he's too gassed. You know what number Mota was? He was number 11 because of how gassed he was.
Yeah.
Number 11, dude. That means Calendar was shooting in front of Mota.
That's crazy. Yeah, we had no penalty takers. So.
But this is the problem with Neville and not rotating the squad. This is why I'm so livid about this, because it's not fair to us, man. Like, and here's the other side of the argument, right? Let's go through it, because I've seen it on Twitter and I've seen it around. Some people don't believe we're good enough to win the Open Cup. But when other MLS teams aren't trying their hardest, you have a chance. Yeah. You have a chance because you could be playing your best lineup against their second best lineup or whatever it is, or their rotated team. And I do believe you owed it to us to at least get to the semifinal or something, right? I mean, I'm glad that we made it against Orlando. It was a great experience, whatever, but I'm thirsty for more. Now you've like kind of like I'm not gonna be excited anymore until we beat Orlando in it and we get to the semifinal or something like that. Because right now, although it was a great run, and you know what, I want to shout out the players here because they gave it their all.
Yeah, they did what they had to do.
Yeah, they want to play every game. They want to be in there, and they fought hard for that game. And there's a super clear identity on this team now, which is all we ever wanted, was a team that fights. So I'm happy to see it, and I'm proud of them for this run. I really am. And you know, it is what it is. Any last thoughts on Orlando there?
Yeah, like you mentioned, like, big up on the players. Of course, they made mistakes. It happens. It can be fixed. If we had, I think the main issue was our depth, because we were playing such a patchwork lineup that it kind of was what it was, and also pair that with how many games was it in 15 games? Like, it's 15 days. We played 7 games.
It was the 14th through the 28th. And it was. Let me see. It was a game here.
So you have like a marathon. I guess you can call it a marathon of games, at once.
5 games in 14 days.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, 6 games in 14 days.
And some of those games were away, so you have to travel for some of those games.
Yeah.
And I don't really count the Orlando one as travel, because that's like a quick drive up the street. But like, we were playing away.
7 games. Let me count it one more time.
Yeah,
1,
7 games. Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6.
Okay, but playing that many games in
a
a short amount of time with a team with no depth, is like really difficult. So I commend the players for getting out there, especially the main guy I want to shout out is Drake Calendar because I say it every podcast like that. It was especially that that Montreal preseason game where he was letting, I think he like let in like 4 goals and they looked terrible. And so that guy, he has improved so much. I have to give him his props. A lot of players are playing well. They're kind of dealing with a shit sandwich is how this roster is kind of configured because we kind of just like had to throw, because of all the sanctions, we had to just throw everybody together. And I can see that we're playing better and we're starting to gel and I can start to see where it's going. But if we don't have that depth and we don't have players consistently playing with each other and we're constantly having to change lineups and now you have to play this person and now this person's playing left back and Yo is over here and all that changing constantly with no depth is not good for anybody. So as soon as we get depth, I think we can actually make a decent run and make it to at least the semifinals. And as of right now, we are 1 point off of a playoff spot as of right now. So when we get that depth, we can get a playoff spot. We can get a semifinal in the Open Cup.
What if I told you the depth is there? Because we've talked about it on this show. There's depth on paper, right? There's
On paper,
Shea,
yes.
There's Kieran Gibbs. You have 3 keepers in Diop, Marsman, and Calendar. There's all sorts of depth on paper, but I think this all speaks to Neville's inability to properly rotate squads. If you had a true B squad, then you had to play with each other. And mind you, football is football, soccer, soccer. There's gonna be players in and out through the injury and this and that. But if you had your set B and your set A with a few interchangeable pieces here and there, right? You would be able to play these games where you could rotate and put in a B squad and see players like that. And mind you, there's been some injuries, there's been this, been that. But if there's injuries, throw in some Inter Miami 2 players in there. Try to mix it up. I know the rules are sketchy around there, but it all falls on Neville. But I don't want to beat that dead horse. I do want to mention something before we move on. What you said, Big Drake Calendar, that's the man, dude.
Yeah.
And I put this question in for Miami Total Football, and they talked about it. I asked them, I want to ask you the same question now. Would you take Drake's, I think I've asked you actually before, would you take Drake's shot stopping abilities over Marsman's distribution?
At the moment, right now, yes. Definitely.
I would too. And we touched on as great as Drake has played, and Neville even said he's the best goalie in the MLS right now.
Yes.
Form wise, which he's got 2 Team of the Weeks. He had the standing on his head performance against Orlando. I told you I agree. Form wise, he is. Although his distribution does suck, he gave up one in the first half, remember, against Orlando, and he's given up a few balls that have been almost goals, and he stopped them himself. He's taking the responsibility upon himself. But I'll tell you that I do miss Marsman's distribution a bit.
Yeah, Marsman had really good distribution. There was one last season. There was one last year. I think he like from the box like yeeted it to LGP, who was at the other 18-yard box, and gave him a picture perfect pass.
Yeah, that was sexy. I remember that. But at the same time, I don't miss Marsman's ability to kind of not stop easy, stoppable shots.
Yeah.
Versus Drake's ability of just like fucking Spider-Man out there. I don't know, dude.
He just gets to the ball somehow. I don't know what it is. He just always finds a way to just actually just get to the ball.
Maybe it's
according
meditation.
to this, he had 5 saves that game.
Yeah. Maybe it's all the meditation he's doing.
I'm telling you, he's a Zen master, man.
Who posted the photo? It was Inter Miami podcast. They posted
it. It was one of the guys in the group chat, Pistol Pete. He made that for them.
That was awesome.
It was really good.
Shout out to Pistol Pink Hair, bro. That he's been making some fire memes too.
He's really good at Photoshop and making good memes. Yeah. He's great at it.
Yeah, that was a nice one today. I liked it. It looked like Doctor Strange and with the chakras and all that. So speaking of good designs, let's get into the Prime Blue jerseys this year.
Let's do it.
I think it's a notable upgrade. Saw that segue right there? Saw that segue?
Perfecto.
I had to find a little. Yeah. Just fucked that up, but whatever. I had to give myself kudos there.
No,
but yeah, but you want to give the touch the. What do you think about Prime Blue jerseys? So you gave them a rating. The ones this year. You were rating, I think, the Inter Miami one. So if you haven't seen them, I think we're gonna repost it. You can look it up on Inter Miami's website.
Actually, I have it pulled up here.
The Stingray shot makes him look a lot better because
Yeah,
there's a very there's a very attractive girl modeling them, and there's a good photography. They have a Stingray who's she's balancing the ball, the official MLS ball. Dude, we kill it. We really do kill it with social media. Our social media team at Inter Miami is amazing. The photographers they hire are amazing. The content creators they hire do a good job of capturing La Familia, and even these prime blue jerseys. I gotta give it to the team right now. That photo shoot was badass. The one they did last year was really cool.
Even though I think it's the same model.
Yeah, it's the same model and photographer. I saw the video that they posted. It was actually really cool. If you guys want to check it out, it's like a mini doc showing how they did it. Went to the Cayman Islands to Stingray Sanctuary, and they did a shoot, and the weather didn't cooperate. Yada yada. You can watch it. It's really cool. But the prime blue jersey you're wearing on land, like a a land loving flabbergasta. Whatever,
exactly.
Like SpongeBob style. On land, I don't like the look. On her in the water, it looked cool because it was like camo. It almost looked like scuba camo to me, And honestly, if I was like, I don't know, if I was like a scuba diver, I'd maybe try to pull that off or something. It looks really cool for water, but I'm not the biggest fan of last year's prime blue. I think it's okay. I'll maybe get one for like $15. Like some people got that.
Yeah, I bought this when it was on sale. So
yeah, but this year's is a notable improvement for me. What did you think about them?
I like it. Of course, in this photo looks amazing because that's what photography is for.
Yeah.
Because it's wet and it's in the water, you can see a bit of blue hue on here, but that's not actually on the jersey. It's just a jersey. It's kind of like this one, but it has a design on it, but it's like kind of embossed, kind of like the Palma jersey. Well, not even like the Palma jersey. That's not embossed, but it has like a design, but it's like white on white.
It's an embossed like pattern.
It's
kind of like a ripple. It's kind of like a
yeah.
ripple, like an ocean ripple. But you know what I thought you were talking about here? Actually, not the blue hue, but one thing about it being underwater is the contrast is better. You talked about how I remember in your tweet, and it's one thing I kind of noticed is the white with the light pink or light beige or whatever it is. There's not a lot of contrast. Yeah, you can't really see it. There's not a lot of contrast. But underwater, since it's wet, the white tends to get a little darker. And I believe you could see the contrast better on the white shirt.
Yeah, but just looking on the website, because it's on a white background on the website, it's like a very, very light salmon-y. I guess you can call it salmon. Like
it's a light salmon.
It's a very light color, and to have a light color on white just looks weird to me. Like even like this one, you have blue and then you have the orange, which makes it stand out. And even on the other last year's prime blue jersey, they had it was white and blue. This one is like white on another very light, almost white color. So I don't get it. And the other jersey has a similar color scheme to this one. It's blue and orange. It's just a darker hue of blue.
And a darker hue of orange, I believe, as well.
A bit, yeah.
It almost looks red. It almost looks red to me. It almost looks red.
In some of the photos that I've seen other teams post, it looks, depending on the lighting, it looks purple. Like I remember I saw the one that Orlando had, and their fans were like, oh, we have a purple jersey. And no, it's not. It's blue. It's just really dark blue. Just in their photos, the lighting makes it look purple. And I'm pretty sure they did it on purpose.
Well, the same way we made ours look a little bit pinker when it's actually like more salmon or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to touch on there too. I'm really happy they gave us the color that's closer to our actual colors. Can you imagine if they would have gave the other team, like that would be the ultimate MLS move. Give Portland the white and pink ones and give us the red and blue ones.
Yeah, I remember I complained about how the jersey colors are last episode.
And another thing I was gonna say, look at us, bro, talking jerseys. I love it.
During the break we gotta talk more jerseys.
Yeah, we'll do an episode dedicated to jerseys. We can do the jersey history of Miami and maybe even like show off our jerseys. And it'd be nice to have some of our Vice City members. I know there's a few of them that have really sick jersey collections, like really nice. Sick. So if we can get them on, that would be sick. You know what? That's a good idea. We'll make a note of that. Mm-hmm. But what was your rating again? A 6 out of 10?
I gave it about a 6 because it's not a bad jersey. I just don't like how they had the color scheme because you can barely see the other color. If you're gonna have white and another color, at least make that color stand out and pop. Have it be like a bright orange, like kind of like a tropical orange, like that. Have it stand the fuck out. But like this jersey, it didn't seem like they tried very well. And also another thing I saw a tweet. So the new, and I think they did it for this jersey too. So the actual jersey, the ones that we're talking about, I think it's like an $80 jersey. And I saw somebody tweet, it's a training jersey. It's the exact same pattern, color scheme, everything, just no badge and no sponsor, and it's $40, and it's a training jersey. So they literally just took that training jersey and put our stuff on it, and now they marked it up to $80.
My girlfriend found last year's, the one you have on right now. This
Yeah.
same thing you're talking about with no badge or sponsor on it. And she found it for super cheap or whatever. I like it, dude. You want to know how badly I dislike the one you have on? I'm sorry, and I know you kind of like it, and I'll eventually get it. My girlfriend had the same one, just no Inter Miami thing on it. I could have thrown on like a black and pink one on it, a patch, but I just didn't want to. I just
Yeah.
you remember that, babe, right? Like she's nodding her head. She got the jersey, and God bless her. Like I'm so glad she got it for me, because that's a super good idea. But like I saw it, I held it. It was my size and everything. Like it was even like a 3X, I believe. So it fit me nice and big because I've gotten pretty big. But it fit nice and everything. I just didn't like it. I didn't. I
get why people don't like it.
I do like this year's better. Here's my biggest quarrel with last year's. It's Miami FC's colors. We're not Miami FC #1, and we shouldn't be making color schemes that are way too out of our color range. Like if it's gonna be like an alternate, it should be somewhere along our color scheme. So that's why I like this year's, and I do like it, but I'm not gonna go with a much higher rating than you. I'm gonna go with a 6.9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a good jersey, but it's not crazy. It's a decent jersey.
And if you guys know me, I'm a big fan of the number 6.9. Nice. No, I really do want to give it a 7. I do want to give it a 7, but I'm gonna go with the 6.9. I was gonna go with like a 6.5, which I thought was a little less harsh. But no, the 6.9, that's a good number. But reason being is the collar. I don't know if you've noticed the collar on it. It's kind of like one of those that like it's like sticks straight up. I don't know.
I did not notice the collar now.
Pull it up. See if you can see it. I don't like that collar. That might reduce your score.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. I don't mind it that much, but I do get what you're talking about.
I don't like those collars, especially on me. They fucking like start like scratching up on my neck and shit. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get that.
But these prime blue jerseys are gonna be worn on Saturday at 8 p.m. against the Portland Timbers. Our first time hosting them at Drive Pink Stadium. We did play them last year. I think it was a loss towards the end of the year when we were kind of tail spinning out of control after we had like a good set of matches there. So I do want some revenge here against Portland. But there's some tired legs out there. Phil mentioned there might be 5 or 6 changes. What do you got on Portland, Akeem? What do you think about them?
Portland's not doing so hot right now. They're actually in 10th place, just like we are. And they have 15 points, just like we do. So they're not doing crazy good. Away, they've only won 1 game.
Okay, how many have they drawn?
They're 1-3-3 away. At home, they are 2-2-3 at home. So they're, like I said, they're not doing so hot right now. They have 3 wins on the season.
They're not doing too horrible,
which
either,
is half the wins we have, I think.
There's someone to watch out for. They also got knocked out of the Open Cup. They got knocked out of the Open Cup like a round earlier, so they didn't have to play on Wednesday, and they didn't have to go to penalties on Wednesday. So they're gonna be playing fresh. We're pretty damaged. Want to get right into the lineup predictions because Phil said 5 or 6 changes, and
yeah, I mean, as you should, because that lineup was caca. So I think we should put our starters in, especially because we have a I believe it's a 3-week international break after this game. So if it were me, I would use this as a throwaway game and put on some kids. But he probably wants his pride back, and after losing to Orlando in penalties. So he's probably going to put on a very strong lineup. But if it were me, I would put on the kids. That's just me.
He says 5 or 6. I think we're going to go with like 3 or 4. Let's do. And I get you. If we were him, we would put the kids in. I would do the same. I'd put Ascona in. I want to see Ascona. I want to see Acosta. I want to see players like that. But let's be semi-realistic here.
Yeah.
No way too. Like let's try to win this game. I want to win this game too. So as bad as I want to put the kids in, I would have done that against New York Red Bull. That would have been more worth it.
That would have been the perfect game to do that in, but
it would have been, and that's why we're in all this fucking bullshit. But whatever. Calendar in the back. That's without even saying, huh?
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah. So calendar in the back. You think Yedlin gets some rest? He's gonna have to play 2 friendlies and 2 Nations League games.
I assume
Phil was bitching and moaning about that, but what about Berhalter coming bitching and moaning about you for not resting Yedlin against New York Red Bull? I don't know.
Exactly.
Whatever. I don't know. What do you think? Yedlin plays?
I don't think he starts. I think they'll probably put Ayoooooo because he's been playing in that position for Yedlin. So I think Yedlin comes on the second half, probably around the 60th minute. They put in Ayoooooo. I think for the most part, besides McVay, I think our backline stays the same.
I liked. Let me tell you something. I liked Ulloa better in the midfield. When
Yeah,
we saw him against New York Red Bull, I think he's better utilized there.
I think that's his natural
And
position too. Let me double
yeah,
check,
and
but I think you're
yeah,
right.
it is. He's naturally a defensive center mid. Um, I don't know, man. I just yeah, we're probably gonna go with Ulloa there, and we'll have Yedlin come in. But again, I don't like that for our chances of winning. I really don't. Who did we see that against? We saw it against Philly Union.
Mm-hmm.
It stood well for a little bit, and then he put Yedlin in. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if it's not Ulloa, it's somebody else. But I don't expect Yedlin to start. And if he does, great. Maybe he'll put Ulloa in later for him or someone else later for him. Um, I just remembered something we didn't talk about during the Orlando match. The 5-man back line. God, does that shit make me want to fucking throw up, dude.
I
And he
mean, he
put it
had to
in.
park the bus at that point.
Yeah, he did, but
Yeah, I get it that at that point because at that point you're just playing to get to extra time. So,
but
I can excuse that.
every time we put in the 5 back line, we get scored, dog. It happens every
Because
time.
everybody's thinking the other person has the assignment, and then nobody has the assignment.
Yedlin was talking about it. You know, it just seems, and it also seems like they get every break right after that goal,
It is
especially
what
from
it
the
is.
refs. Whatever. All right, so we got Ulloa, Calendar, Lowe. I feel so bad for Lowe playing. Uh, but I think he plays. I think you got no better option right now.
Nope.
You got Damion Lowe in there. You got Ayman Mabika. You got Mabika in there as well. Um, Christopher McVeigh at left back.
They might swap him out, but I don't see why he doesn't start. Especially because I think they're gonna put it in.
He
They're gonna do
played.
the same
He
thing.
played 100. He played 131 minutes. I could see Jovan. Or no, he came in for Jovan Jones. Jovan Jones came in for him or no?
I
No, he
mean,
stayed.
yeah,
No,
he's gonna
Joe.
stay.
No. I think Jovan Jones might start this one. I'm gonna go with Jovan Jones
Hmm.
because
I can
McVeigh
see
did play
him.
131 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him starting
Uh.
this one.
Uh. I don't see Mota starting.
Yeah.
I
I do
don't
see
see Mota
Gregory start. I
starting.
mean, Greg kind of has to start. He's the captain. He kind of has to start.
Yeah, Gregory's gonna start.
And he doesn't
I
play for Brazil, does he? He doesn't
no,
get called.
no,
Yeah,
bro.
he
He
never. He
does
doesn't get
not.
called up to
He does
Brazil.
not. Him and
So
Mota do. For just to stack these guys, have nowhere got
yeah.
nowhere
So
near that probably.
Gregory's gonna be
Sends them to
chilling a
you.
lot. Yeah, Gregory's gonna be chilling Las Olas for the next few weeks. Like he's good.
Yeah, Gregory's gonna play. Mota, same. So they might play Mota. He was saying Mota wants to play. I can't think of who would play instead of Mota, because
Nah.
Duke is gassed. So I guess we can count
Yeah.
in Gregory and Mota. We can count in Gregory and Mota. Who plays for Duke? Because Taylor's pretty gassed too.
I say
Uh,
probably Sailor plays.
Sailor in the midfield. The
Like,
midfield.
I'm thinking of it as a throwaway game, so that's why I say that.
5-man backline. You think 5-man backline?
No, I just think he's gonna bring on Duke in the second half instead. I don't
Yeah,
think Duke
but
will
wait.
start,
On the
especially after
midfield,
missing that penalty. I don't think he fucking starts.
on the midfield, I don't think you play Breck Shea in the midfield. Maybe Ascona.
That's what
I don't think
I
he would
do.
start though. I would put in
That's what
Ascona.
I would do.
That's what I would do too. And since that's what we would do, that's what we're gonna fucking put in there, dude. Let's put in Ascona. This is our game. This is
It's
our
our
game.
lineup. Fuck it.
It's our lineup. I would put in Ascona. Can I think of a better option off the top of my head? Not really, dude.
No, put the kid in, see how he goes against the.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're gonna be kind of tired too, and they're not really gonna try. So
Lassiter's not gonna play for Costa Rica, and he
Mm-mm.
came in, so I believe Lassiter will play that left wing. Vasilev got subbed out, I believe. Did he?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Higuain starts. I have no real reason. Well, I kind of do, but I have a feeling that because I feel like Phil wants Higuain to like he wants to give Higuain his confidence back. Because I have a feeling that seeing Higuain's temperament and how he kind of like he realized like I'm in the shitter. I need to like get back, and I'm pretty sure he's been bugging
His attitude's
fucking Phil.
improved. His attitude's
has.
improved. And
I'll
Phil,
give
Phil,
him that.
Phil said it. Phil said it. There was a hug. They asked him about a hug. Phil hugged Ewing on his way out. I didn't
I
see it
saw
from the
that.
stands.
I did see it. I saw it on the broadcast. He gave him a nice hug. Yeah.
Yeah, well, his attitude's changed, and he deserves the hug.
So I think
I would
think
hug him too.
I think as a favor to Higuain, I think Phil gives him the start as a favor
Yeah, and
to
I
help
think-
help his confidence.
And I think he puts in Campana as a spark plug. Why not? Campana's pretty gassed himself.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
playing very tired the past couple of games.
hey, you convinced me. You convinced me that I thought Campana
Mm.
would start, and then he would put in Higuain, but let's go. Let's go. You put in there, and then Vasilev at the right. Oh no, Robbie Robinson will probably play the right.
Yeah,
Robbie's
because he was
Robbie's match.
suspended.
Yeah, yeah. So we got Robbie in there, Robbie and Vasilev, or Robbie and Lassiter. Um,
Mm.
and I think we could beat Portland. I do. I think we're
Yeah.
two teams, like you said, that have the same amount of points, kind of in the same place. And Phil's talked about making. You laughed at that one. Drive Pink Stadium a semi-fortress.
I guess. I mean, that requires winning games, but we'll see. But like you said, you responded like we have won our past few games at home. So
5 games
you're right.
undefeated at home.
How many?
5 games undefeated at five undefeated at home.
That's pretty
No
good.
losses. No losses in 5 games at home. And I don't know if that includes Tormenta. It probably does.
It should.
Maybe I don't know if you've seen the monster of Drive Pink Stadium. I'll try to post a picture of him.
Oh God.
You haven't seen it? I made
No.
a sticker out of it and everything.
Oh no, I can't wait to see this. It's gonna be
There's
terrible.
There's a monster that lives in the bellows of Drive Pink Stadium, and
Oh my God.
it's an inside joke in the group chats. You probably know what I'm talking about. You just can't remember. It's a picture of Pablo with his hair down and the bucket hat. It's like in the
I
background.
think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks like a bad guy from like the Powerpuff Girls or something. Like
Nice.
he looks scary. He looks really scary in there. No, but he dead ass looks like a fucking horror movie monster in there. And we donned him the monster that lives in Drive Pink Stadium.
He lives
We
on
tell
the
the
north
kids,
stand.
we tell the rascals, the Vice City rascals, if you guys behave bad, the monster's gonna come get you, and we show them a
Oh
picture.
no.
But yeah, I guess the monsters made Drive Pink a little bit of a fortress.
That's
We
good.
have been strong there, and they talked about Damion talked about it in his post game press conference. They know they left us disappointed a bit. I wouldn't want to say disappointed. I'm not disappointed in the team, but we got a sour taste in our mouth, and I think he mentioned that same thing. The game against Orlando did leave a sour taste in everybody's mouth, so I think they're gonna come out to beat up on Portland. I'm predicting a 2-1 or a 2-0.
I can see a 2-0, 100%.
Okay, and segueing from Damian Lowe and the sour taste in his mouth and our prediction, Damian Lowe got called up by the
Yes, he
Reagan boys,
did.
by the Jamaican national team.
Yeah, we got 2 more call-ups. We got him going to the Jamaican national team, and then we also had
Robert Taylor. Yeah.
Robert. I always get his name
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Robert Taylor.
Yeah.
He got called up to Finland,
That's nice. That's great.
which is really good.
So-
So we got some internationals on our squad. We have at the moment was that I guess you can call including the kid from Cuba. I guess you can call
Daidon Reyes. We got for Cuba.
Respect the name, of course.
Daidon Reyes. We have Damian Lowe for Jamaica, Robert Taylor for Finland, DeAndre Yedlin for the USA, and Edison Ascona for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Who else could possibly get called up? Robbie's not gonna get called up.
But they're not playing any
No,
games.
Lassiter,
So
no.
they're not playing any
Realistically,
games.
no. Realistically, I don't think anybody else. No, that's about it. But yeah, so that's pretty good.
I think
Yeah.
next year, Calendar gets a call up if he keeps playing like this.
You'll get a call up to a camp. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be during our window.
No, but
during
he
the
hasn't
MLS.
gotten any caps at all or anything because he just finished
Well,
college.
he's gutting onto the scene right now.
Yeah.
So he's got people like Matt Doyle. I told you guys last time paying attention to him. You'll get up there soon. But
Yeah,
I believe
'cause
it's
remember,
5 players.
Because he was originally on our reserve team and he worked his way up from then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
did.
doesn't have any.
He's been around from
anything.
the beginning. He's been around from the
Yeah.
beginning, I believe.
Fun fact: he used to play for the Earthquakes.
Yeah, he's from Sacramento, so that's his
Yeah.
nearest. That's his
That
nearest
he
little
played.
part down
He was in there. He was in the San Jose Academy.
there. Yeah. So kudos to Drake, bro. He's gonna get that call up soon. But yeah, we got 5 players to follow. Next episode, we will have the schedules for them. So if you guys want to
Yeah.
follow those games, we'll also be covering them as they're playing. We'll be talking about their performances throughout that international window, along with other really cool stuff. And last but not least, let's wrap it up with Champions League. We got Liverpool facing Real Madrid tomorrow at the Parc des Princes. I'm probably butchering the shit out of that name.
I mean, you got it. You pretty much got it.
Parc des Princes, Parc des Princes. I don't know how you pronounce it in French.
I'm pretty sure. I think you got it. Yeah, Parc des Princes.
Probably got the English pronunciation.
Yeah,
correct,
exactly.
Whatever. But yeah, that's the PSG's home. So we're gonna have Liverpool facing off against Real Madrid. Who you got?
Who I actually think is gonna win? I would say Probably Real Madrid on a come from behind win, because that's basically how they've been winning all their games.
Yeah,
Like they just
that's
shit
the
in the first half. They're kind of like us. They're kind of like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and then they get into the game like, oh wait, we can just score at
can,
will. Like what the fuck?
can they keep that up against Liverpool?
I
I don't think
mean,
so. And maybe it's my Atletico Madrid bias speaking because I am an Atletico Madrid fan, but I don't want to see Real win. I don't think they're gonna win, and um, not only my bias, I just think Liverpool is the better team, more
and
complete team.
isn't Mo Salah injured?
I believe he is, but you got Lucho Diaz, Luis Diaz from Colombia, who's been big balling, bro.
Yeah,
Big balling. So we got a lot of Colombian friends. We got a lot of Colombians in Vice City. So that's another rooting interest for me. I do want to see a Colombian player win the Champions League.
that'll be
Um,
nice.
yeah, that'd be really cool. So yeah, that's what I got. So you got Real Madrid, I got Liverpool. Let's see who's right. Next episode, we'll be reacting to that as well
Definitely should be
after
good.
Portland. Alrighty. So any final thoughts, Akeem, before we sign out?
Well, since we're about to leave, it's puppy time. Let's see if this bad boy wake up. Hey, OJ.
We got a little preview of him, but if anybody skipped to the end, somebody
He's
might have scrolled
fast.
all the way to the end.
Yep, he's
OJ.
yeah, his name's OJ. So
Aww.
he's a pit bull mix. Oops, sorry, just bonked my mic. Yeah, he's a pit bull mix. I think he's mixed with some greyhound and stuff like that. Loves to chase lizards and shit. And yeah, he's had enough of me rambling. He's like, I want to go back to sleep. Yeah, he just sat back in his bed. So yeah,
As
he's been
energetic as
chilling.
they can be, they can also be lazy and stuff. So
I mean, I took him
um,
on a few walks, so I tired him out. So now he's just big chilling.
awesome. All right, so I guess for my final thoughts, just I want to shout out to my boy Adrian Estrada. He's a MIA High Life on Instagram. MIA like Miami, just the three letters, and then High Life like Miller High Life. He makes these shirts. He makes like special shirts every time the Heat make a playoff run. And he started it with the bubble one, and it's a really cool shirt. You know what? I'll show it off on the day we do the jersey one. So he does these like really cool designs, and I always love supporting local artists, supporting friends and stuff like that. And he's got this big face coffee style thing he does in the beginning at the front of the shirt or whatever, kind of like Jimmy Butler makes his own coffee. So I love the logo. He did the tie dye for me. I usually go with the white one, but I went tie dye this time. Got some cool colors, and if you guys check out the back, it's actually really nice. So let me just flip it around real quick. Did they see it good, Akeem?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
So
to
yeah,
the
you got
rescue.
Yeah, so you got Jimmy Butler doing the signature. You got Jimmy Buckets doing the.
The hump.
So that's really cool. He always ties in Bernie in there. That's my name, Bernie.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a big
saw
fan
that.
of the
Yeah.
mascot Bernie. He's got like the skeleton, the Grateful Dead vibes. So I'll show off the shirts. Shout out to Adrian. I think he might have a few extra shirts. I don't like to give away my swag like that. I don't like people to get my swaggy shirts because I'm a big T-shirt collector. I love my graphic shirts, but I definitely want to support Adrian. And if you guys want to get your hands on that, I know it's a really cool shirt. I think Israel Gutierrez actually wore them on Around the Horn once,
Nice.
or some show. I can't remember what show on
Nice,
ESPN.
man.
But it's really cool to see my boy that I grew up with, went to high school with, and hung out with a lot. Like their art coming up. So shout out Adrian. Shout out to these like Big Face Coffee, Miami Heat inspired shirts. Um, really awesome. Really excited to wear mine. As the Miami Heat, I think are currently winning. Last time I checked, we were up 10. Guys, it's so hard balancing the Heat game and the podcast at
Yeah,
the same
watching
time.
it at the same time.
All right,
Just one last thing before we go. I just remembered. I will give Bernie the link, and it should be in the link in our description. There's a fundraiser that Black Herons told me about for Little Haiti
Oh,
FC.
yeah.
They're fundraising to head to a tournament in St. Lucia. As of right now, I'm looking at it, they have a $5,000 goal, and they're about halfway there. So if anybody
Let's
can
get 'em there.
donate,
Let's get 'em there,
let's get
guys.
it up there. Help. Remember, this is a local team from Little
I
Haiti.
love Little Haiti FC. I love Little Haiti FC, dude.
Yeah.
We gotta go out and support them at a game too.
Yeah, we got to support these kids. They're trying to go to
They're
international
the future.
tournaments.
This
This
is
is
our
the-
future.
Yes, this is one of the reasons why we started this is to do things like this. So we want to help out this team. They're local kids from Little Haiti. We got to help them and support them. Like I said, they're halfway to their goal. They need $5,000 in order to afford to go to a tournament to help their development. And who knows, any of these players can get called up to the academy because remember, the academy, they don't do tryouts. They only do invites.
They only do scouting.
They only do scouting. So
My students are always asking me. They're like, "Oh, how can I get an invite?" I go, I looked it up. You're right. It's only scouting.
It's invite
I'm like,
only.
and I tell them because they all play for their own little squads. I'm like, y'all ball out. If y'all want to get called up, ball out, ball out. They'll watch you. They're watching you guys. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
help our local
yeah,
kids get noticed and stuff like
more
this. Helping them get to
more
tournaments,
games. Yeah,
it helps them immensely. You never know when a scout might be looking at what game and stuff like that. So anything you can do, $5, $10, whatever it is, help out these local kids, help out your community, and help support local soccer.
definitely. I'm gonna go ahead and put a donation in there once I get paid this week coming up. I'm planning it out, but guys, anything helps. Anything helps. These, we retweeted the link already.
Hmm.
Actually, we
Yeah, go
retweeted
to our
it
socials. You
on
see it
Twitter.
there. Either us or Black Herons. Black Herons are the ones that started it. So if you
Black
look at
Herons
either us,
United.
if you look at
Yeah, Black
us
Herons
and you look
United.
at Black Herons United, you'll definitely see it there.
Yeah, look out for that. GoFundMe, guys, and please go help out those kids in Little Haiti. I believe they had a really tragic loss in Little Haiti soccer community
Yes, I
a few
remember
years
last
ago.
year one of their players died. I believe it was a car accident.
Yeah, right on
One,
62nd, I believe.
yeah, one of their
Um,
players passed away. Yeah.
yeah, man. So, I work close to Little Haiti. I work in Overtown. I have worked in Little Haiti over in the summers at Edison High. So, it's a great community. I love my Haitian people, and this is our future. Like Akeem was saying, guys, these are players that really need help with the exposure because these kids in Weston, they don't need help funding these tournaments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing against Weston, like great, it's awesome. KSP, Kendall, they're going to these tournaments, they're getting the exposure. But these kids in Little Haiti, they play with a hunger, they play with a drive, an ambition like no other, and they, Edison. I think Edison competes really high up there with the Varellas of the world and
Yeah.
stuff like that, even in high school soccer. So, I'm all for the soccer community in Little Haiti. Haiti Cup should be coming up soon, isn't it?
I'm not
The
sure,
community
but
cup.
I'll ask
Yeah,
Jermaine about that. Jermaine knows a lot about that.
yeah, I want to go out to that. I've never been out to it. I know they do it by FIU North, and it looks like a good time. So maybe we do some coverage on that
We can go.
sometime
We
this
can go
week.
through. I'll bring my camera and everything.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be really dope, man. All right, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the support. We appreciate all of it, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the game against Portland. Come out, say what's up, tell us what you thought about the podcast, and look forward to seeing you guys during the break. We'll make one episode reacting to Portland, and then we'll get into a little bit of cool content. We'll do some history, some Jersey talk, stuff like that. So, peace out, Girl Scouts. See you guys later.
See you later. Good luck. Have fun.